as a graduate, beyond just the application piece, they do a lot of convenings and networking opportunities that will plug you into a lot of resources. I myself like to provide lots of wraparound services other than just through technical assistance. I was hoping Samoy would be here. She was actually my guest last Wednesday on the radio show. And she did a really good job. We actually got 4 people to call and ask about how do I use your service? What does drop in exactly? We've got a few fundraisers and we're looking for some means, somebody, some way to do one thing or another, right? So that's pretty cool. So what we'll do is when you're ready to get on television, or excuse me, not television, radio, it requires a little work on your end, right? So if you were trying to get on the radio show, do you just pop up to the radio show and say your stuff? What should you do in preparation?
Get an appointment.
Okay, you want to get scheduled to get the slot, that's fine. And what else should you do?
Prepare for what you want to say.
Definitely. Have your talking points ready, right? What else should you do?
What you say? Meet with you, and so your conversation is
lined up. So I'll throw you any questions that you can't answer, because 15 minutes on the radio can seem like an eternity, even though people aren't looking at you. Most of our guests today are actually streaming. They're streaming all of their stuff on Facebook right during the radio. I don't do that. I may say something and get caught up, but I don't want to do that. So it's my version of censorship. But let me tell you what you actually should do. If you have a slated date and time that you know you're going to be on the radio, what you do is try to give some advance notice to those who are you're following, your social media spaces. You want to publicize that broadly. You want to get the call-in information. At least you want to get the details. Is it a live broadcast? Are people able to call in? You know, can I have somebody call and give a testimony? So it's just not me talking about my stuff. It's a greater opportunity for public relations. When you do that, you get the best way to maximize the service, or that one little 15-minute spot, right? Right? Yes. That's how you do that, so that it has longevity beyond just that one engagement. All right? Yes, ma'am.
One of the things you do also is prepare your voice.
How do you do that, Ms. Yvette?
How you do that is practice. The other thing, just a simple technique that people use, put a smile in your voice. Have a smile on your face. It'll translate into what people hear, and make it more pleasant sounding. Just like one little thing, smile, and then it shows up.
Fantastic. She's got a broadcast background, so I think she knows these things. So when you're ready, so I'll book every Wednesday. I have a different guest, and I decided I would incorporate my Motor City Match people into the conversation too. I mean, that's a small lift. If I've got the platform, why not be able to use it? But you want to be ready. I was so impressed with your pitches that I thought, gotta add them to the radio show. You know, you guys did what you're supposed to do. And quite a bit of what you offer resonates, you know, beyond just a small group of people. It would be something that would be super great. For instance, Steve, you are going to be really good because Courageous Sports Academy is the sponsor for our actual radio broadcast. Okay. And it's a sports team, so they very well may be the ones who need to be outfitted in your gear. All right, so I'm not going to delay. I'm going to ask Michael to get ready to transition and come up so that we can actually find out first what it is that you get from Motor City Match, and then we'll go right into passing out the certificates, and we'll be out of here by 10:30 sharp. Okay? All right. And then it's like on to the next. On to the next. All right, Michael, I'm going to transition.
All right, thank you very much.
Since you gotta be out here by 10:30, I guess I heard it. All right, so congratulations, everybody. I know that this has been a lot, but you have definitely shown a lot of dedication. I was telling Laura that I was very impressed when you all did your pitches. They were seriously some of the best I've seen in a really long time. If you noticed, so she had me make comments on everybody's, and I didn't really have too many constructive criticisms because, again, they were also great. I love all of your ideas. I can tell that you all have grown a lot in the class, not just personally, but also professionally. So congratulations, you should all give yourselves a hand. it's really not a small feat. I mean, we have a lot of awardees come through, and they'll start the class, and then they'll drop off by those first couple weeks. So making it through every single week and being here now is definitely quite the accomplishment. So for the program, if you want to move further in the program, we have 3 more award tracks for you. We have space, design, and cash. And so they're exactly how they sound. If you're looking for a location, a brick and mortar location for your business, you should apply for a space. With that, we'll help you find a location. I run the Space Award track as well. So we have workshops to help with leasing, to help with the legal needs for being in a location, dealing with landlords, things like that, going over contracts. We also have matchmaking opportunities with landlords. We get you in front of the different CDCs and the different community leaders throughout Detroit to help find that perfect location for your business. Once you find that location, we have design, which is where we will hire an architect for you to design the space out for your business. And so think about the space being pretty much perfect, except it needing those actual like fixtures and maybe like plumbing work, things like that. Maybe you need like an oven or something like that for your business. So we'll help you design all that out. And then once you have all of that, you can start pulling permits and you can start getting all the estimates needed. And once you have a good idea of how much everything is going to cost, you can apply for cash. And so cash is what everybody cares about, is the money to help you get open. And so we do up to $100,000 per project. And so the way the process works is you will apply, you will attach your business plan to your application. If you're selected as a finalist, we'll contact you and let you know. We'll invite you out to a workshop to explain the process in more detail. We'll start requesting financial documents, so things like taxes, profit and loss statements, bank account statements, things like that. We'll go over those. We'll do a site visit at the location that you've identified. We'll meet with you. We'll get a better idea of what your vision is for the space. And then we'll lock ourselves in the room with our lending partners. By this time, you should already have a great relationship with our lending partners. We have different opportunities throughout the program for you to meet with them, to talk with them, and things like that. That relationship, I can't stress enough how important it is to have a good relationship with those partners. We meet with them all the time. So if they don't know you, then that means that we don't really know you. And if we do know you, that means that they know you as well. So, you know, I've seen a lot of deals that we want to get done, and the lending partners were basically like, well, that person's crazy, stay away from them. That does happen. So I can't stress enough how much your reputation will precede you. So having that good relationship is definitely crucial. So again, we'll have different, you know, we have like lending happy hour, for example, which is where, you know, it's just us, you, the lenders, and alcohol, basically. To help you kind of, you know, facilitate that relationship. But yeah, so once that's done, we'll work on getting your project financed. And so Motor City Match is a gap filling project. I mean, I'm sorry, a gap filling program. But we won't finance a project unless it can be fully financed. So let's say that your need is, let's say $100,000, and you already have, let's say, $10,000. That would mean that the need is how much?
90.
Exactly. So when you do your application, don't put 80, don't put 120, don't put 150. Put what you actually need, which is 90. Always remember to include a contingency, because things always cost more than what you think they're going to cost. And then, so if your need is 90,000, you already have that 10,000. Then our lender might say, well, we'll do 40 if you guys can do the other 50. So it'll be something like that. Some of our projects are fully financed from a grant. Some of them are fully financed from a loan. But most of them are like a combination of a grant and a loan. I feel like I talked a lot really fast. Does anybody have any questions? No?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Those that, can you give an example, any actual examples of some of those projects?
The projects that we financed?
Yeah, ones that were financed by a grant. Can you give like an example of what that was, the process? And
Sure.
then,
So one that comes to mind is Mama Cool's Boutique. So she's located on Trumbull, I believe. So with that project, I don't want to speak to the actual financials, but her need was around $20,000 to $30,000. And so our lenders were able to come in, we were able to speak with them. But a lot of what determines the breakdown of the financing is the other people that are applying as well at the time. And so I'm sure you all have seen our like brochures and postcards and everything in order to be matched, or you might have heard the mayor say, you know, 500,000 per quarter, 500,000 per quarter. So that's the amount of money that we have to spend every 3 months on projects. And so essentially that money is divided up amongst the cash awardees that we choose. And so we usually have around 100 people apply for cash every 3 months, and we usually pick around 10. And so I'm not, you know, I went to law school, so didn't really focus on math, but the math doesn't really shake out. So as you can see, there's like, you know, some projects we might do, you know, a $20,000 grant. Some projects we might do a $50,000 grant. Some projects we might do a $100,000 grant. And so it really depends on the people that are applying at the time and the people that we want to award at the time. And so we always tell people that the projects that are awarded are typically the projects that are the most ready. And so you might have a great idea, you might even think you have a great idea, but if you're not ready to be financed, then it's just not your time to be financed. And we would rather tell you that and help work with you and get you like some financial advising, some one-on-one consulting, things like that, to help get you ready, because we don't want to give you this money and have you open up just for you to fail in 6 months. We want you to not only businesses that open up are a win for us, but we want to open up sustainable businesses. We want you to be open up, to remain open years from now. And so whatever we can provide to help you with that is what we want to do. Yes?
What's one way that someone at our stage of the program can really start to get ready to be prepared for that final stage, or to at least, I mean, whether it happens or not, just, you know, is it mainly financials? Is it,
right,
you know, what does that look like for somebody at this level?
Right, so one of the issues that we've seen with the business plan class is that a lot of people struggle with the financials. And that's not necessarily, that's not a slight to our providers, it's just people just struggle with financials. And so it's also difficult to have financial projections when you haven't opened up your business. And it's difficult to have financial projections when you don't know how much it's going to cost to lease the space, because you don't have a space. The space is actually a large part of your financials. And so a lot of people struggle with being able to plug in those numbers when they just don't know how much everything is going to cost. And so some things I can definitely recommend to you. If you haven't tried out your model yet, please, please, please try out your business model. Don't come to us and tell us that you know that your pies are the best pies in the world because your mama told you. Please, please, please go to Eastern Market. You know, do what you need to do to go to your church, something. Sell to people who don't love you, who will tell you that your product, who will tell you that your product is terrible. They'll tell you like, hey, you know, this nail, you did my nails and they're terrible. Like, you need to get that feedback. Even when you do like events and things like that, I always recommend, you know, have surveys on hand to give to people and tell people to be honest. You know, if you have, for example, your subscription business, you know, include a survey with that. You know, have people say, like, yeah, you know, I really love the clothes are great, but they didn't fit well, or, you know, something so that you can continue to improve on your product. Another thing that we want to see is that you have skin in the game, which means that you're investing in your business. So one of our lending partners, John Schoeniger, one thing that he told me I stole from him is, I'm not going to invest in your business if you're not investing in your business. Because if you don't care, I'm not going to care. So I need to see that you're investing in your business. Another thing that can really help is to start documenting your financials. Don't tell me that you have 50 customers and you don't have any type of financials. You don't have any cash flow, you don't have any bank statements. I always tell people, I'm on camera right now, so say this, but just being real, you know, a lot of people, they don't understand that they need to have a business bank account and a personal bank account. Like, please, please, please do not commingle your assets. Please keep your financials separate. You don't want like a lot of, I mean, you know, we can't really do a loan if you have $50,000 in cash. Like, you can't just give me a briefcase full of money and say, well, this money. It would help if we could see, you know, bank account statements and things like that. I mean, y'all laughing, but we really do see this. Like, you know, just being real, like, I've seen people try to do that. I've seen people try to move money around. I've seen people, you know, cook their books. I've seen, like, all of it, and that's why we go through your financials to be able to pull you to the side and say, hey, we ain't trying to judge you, but it looks kind of shady. You know, when you telling us that you pay contractors in cash with, like, you know, $50,000, kind of, and you can't, and, you know, the contractor doesn't exist and things like that. You know, it's kind of shady. Another thing, the cash award, let's say that you are awarded $50,000 in cash in the grant. The way we like to do it is we like to reimburse. And so let's say that you needed some plumbing done, something like that. Got your contractor, do the plumbing, contractor invoices you, you pay them, you show us the invoice is paid, and then we reimburse you. That's the way the program started. We know that a lot of entrepreneurs are broke, so you know, it's kind of hard to reimburse somebody when they can't pay the money. So we totally understand that, and so we do, you know, we can pay the contractor up front as well. If that's the case, we do like a three-party agreement. We still like to see that the work is done though. A lot of contractors understand the program and how it works. Basically, like, we don't want to, just be blunt, like, we don't want to, so there's other programs, I won't name names, in the city where they've like come to us and told us like, yeah, we've awarded people like cash grants, and they gave the person a cash grant, and then let's say it's like a two-person business where it's like two partners in the business, and then one of the partners like took the money and like disappeared. Like, that happens a lot. You would be surprised. And so to prevent that, one thing that we do is we want to see that the money is done, I mean, I'm saying that the work is done, and then we'll pay the contractor ourselves. That's it, we don't trust y'all, but I mean, things happen. But no, so there's some other things you could do, I would say, is create your own personal timeline. Figure out, one question that we ask a lot of people during a site visit is, ideally, what would you want to be open? Obviously, everybody wants to say tomorrow, but, you know, like, really, like, think about a realistic timeline. Think about your business. Is your business seasonal? Would it help if you were open in the summer, right? Like, think about those things and kind of plan that timeline out. Another thing is be as descriptive as possible in your application, especially when it comes to the money. Like, people will so quickly put, you know, I need $100,000, they won't tell us why. They won't tell us where the money is going. So if you can explain, like, you know, I already got somebody who's going to do the electrical, they told me it's going to cost this much. I got somebody who's doing the plumbing, or even like, you know, I have 2 or 3 people that said they could do plumbing. These are the various estimates that they give me. Things like that will go a long way to help you be selected throughout the program. Last thing I want to say is Motor City Match is great, it's wonderful, I love the program, but we're not the only program in the city. So I would say, you know, a lot of projects that we finance, they'll say, you know, I got this much money from Hatch, I got this much money from Beach Red Soup, you know, I did some pitch competitions and we're able to get this much money. And then, so when I say that we look for you to have 8 to 10% of your total project budget coming from you. That can include money from Hatch. You know, that can include money from like different programs, pitch competitions. You know, maybe your uncle left you a bunch of money and things like that. So, you know, I would definitely encourage you to apply for other programs around the city. And please, please, please work on your pitch. That is so crucial because there are a ton of pitch competitions that people just don't know about. One of our awardees, Leslie Paz, she is now in like Kroger, she's in Westmore Market, she's looking at getting in a bunch of other stores, but she started off just selling at Eastern Market. We were able to work with her, but the way she got in Kroger was through a pitch competition. And so now she's in Kroger, and I go to Kroger every week and buy her product because her product is amazing. But you know, really, it's the
It really is. It really is.
we've ever had.
Lush, I mean,
Yeah, Lush Every Spies. I was listening to the radio. She had a commercial there. But yeah, so definitely do competitions. And if you need help, I mean, definitely like we have resources, so we definitely want to help you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Yes.
How do you find out about pitches that are going on, competitions? Because I know they're not easy to just find them.
Well, I know Laura knows about a lot of them, but I would say you can really Google like pitch competitions in Detroit or small business pitch competitions, and a lot of them really will come up.
They will? Okay.
Eventbrite is a great place to shop for information like that.
Okay.
Another one is Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yes. If you follow the right people, you gotta follow like Detroit Soup, Kiva, Motorsby Match. You gotta follow them. They post all the time and give you a link to register.
All right. It's time to graduate.
Well, one last thing I want to say is congratulations. And also, I believe you hand out your graduation certificates.
That's right.
I also want to say, I also do want to see Match social media, so I do a lot. So if you have any events, anything coming up that you want us to promote, we want to promote you because we want you to be successful. So please, don't hesitate to let me know. But,
Very nice. Very
Mike,
nice.
what's the best way to get in contact with you? What is
Does
it?
everybody have your
Yes.
business card?
I don't know if everybody has my business card. Anybody have my business card? No?
No.
All right, well, I have some more business cards.
Email or for my phone?
I would say probably email just because, as you can see, I'm not in the office all the time. So I'm not always like at my desk to answer my phone. So probably email.
You're the first one up on
But yeah, I'll definitely give out my business cards if I need.
All right. So how do you want to do this? I can. I'll read them and you just stir them, get the photo up. Fantastic. All right, Mr. Antoine Anderson. That's the ball. Please turn your certificate around. That'd be great. Yes, sir. I think I want in on this picture.
Go on this side of the sign.
All of us?
Yeah.
Seven light.
Yep.
Is that good?
A little bit more.
What?
We're good.
Light. This light.
It's your life? Oh, shoot. You want to move the sign?
Okay. 3, 2.
Cheese. Oh, wait.
I feel like a midget. Two super tall people. Thank you. All right, Mr. Dobbins.
It's all on camera.
All right.
Yes, please. All right, all right.
3, 2, 1. You never know. We gotta get one good one.
All right.
You gotta get one good one.
Miss Kelly Coleman, Angelique Natural Care. Hello, madam. Congratulations. I'm gonna have a headache from smiling so much.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
That was quick and easy.
I know you guys weren't moving this time. Guys, settle quick.
Rare breed apparel.
All right.
All right. You good?
Yeah.
All right.
That would be good.
Thank you so much. Michelle Gibbs and James McKinley. I've got your name right on the last name. The last name. Gotta make something.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's figure it out.
All right. Thank you. I know, right? Don't have to ask. Miss Samoy Smith. We did it.
You had to come, you had to be here. All right, you see that?
Okay, 3, 2. Oh. Okay, I think we're good.
Miss Lisa Walker, Sweet Thoughts. Congratulations.
All right, 3, 2, 1. You guys are staring right at me.
All right, so Miss Michelle Butler is not here. She had a family emergency she had to attend to, so we're still going to say her name and congratulate her. Just so you know, she actually owns a brick and mortar that's in the process of accepting 12 independent cosmetologists inside of her facility. All right, that wasn't painful, was it? Now you get to network for about 15 minutes and then get the hell out. No, I'm just playing. Congratulations, guys. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Ms.